Hello, friends and beautiful people. Welcome to another Quilt Shop Quickie. I'm excited about this one because our coasters were all built around what we're doing today. All right, so this is what we've got. This is a table runner, and it's going to measure approximately 20 inches by 40 inches when it's done. Let me show you how this goes together. So what we did, and I did make a mistake in the actual piecing part. So for clarification, when we're cutting our strips and we're cutting our squares for the half square triangles, you need at least 4 squares from each strip. So this project is a good project that could be for, you could utilize jelly rolls or scraps. I specifically wanted to use scraps, and I wanted to use homespuns. I like homespuns. And for where this is going to be, see how there's no, a lot of table runners have interest like in the middle. And I wanted something that didn't, because I have the table I want to put this on, I have a bowl that sits there that's got stuff in it. Sometimes it's potpourri, sometimes it's the little balls. It just has different things in it all the time. And so I didn't want to cover up some sort of interest on the table runner with the bowl. So that's why I chose this. Let me see if I can get you a little bit closer. So that's all we've got. So the scrappier the better. Again, those jelly rolls are going to be perfect to use for this project. So let's get started. Remember, I'm about to tell you wrong on how many squares. You're going to double how many squares you're cutting out of those strips. Okay, so what I've done is I cut 18 strips of fabric that were 3 inches. And then off of those 3 inches, I cut 1 pair, because it was still folded, of squares that were 3 inches. Then I trimmed the rest of that strip down to 2.5 inches, and that's how I got my strips for my actual table runner here. And then I took those 3-inch squares, trimmed them down to 2 7/8 inch squares, cut them on the diagonal, and I'm going to use those to make my half square triangles. Okay, friends, so here's where we are. We have these sewed together in pairs. And what I've done is I've sewn in this direction, top, we'll call this the top to bottom. And now when I sew these pairs together, I want to sew the opposite direction, bottom to top. That's going to keep it from getting wonky and ripply. And we're going to just be, we're going to press and not scrub when we're using our iron to iron these open, and because we want to keep from making them do the curve and do the wave. The other thing we've got going on over here is we've got all these half square triangles that we've made with those 3-inch squares. We're going to square these up to 2.5 inches, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, friends, so after we got all of the strips sewn together, and remember we pressed, we drove in different directions. We came down this way, and then we went back this way when we were piecing, and then we were careful when we pressed. We just opened it up and just pressed. We didn't scrub on it so that we didn't, especially with the homespun, you'll get some wonkiness going on if you don't do that straight. So then what we did is we needed a total of 60 half square triangles. You need 18 this way on both sides, and then plus you need on these two sides, the 12 and 12. So what I did, and really with mine you can't tell, is in the intersections, let me see if I can get you there, I changed directions. Now you don't have to do that. You can just go all one way if you want, but I chose to do that. And then all I did after I got it all pieced together, what I did, I got all the stripy part pieced, and then I added the 2 long 18 half square triangles. I made that into a big long strip set and sewed it on either side, and then I did the 2 ends. And that worked out really well for me. To quilt it, I just quilted in the ditch all the way around. Again, nothing's really going to show up on this because of where it is and how it is and what it is. You know, it's homespun, so not a lot of, I mean, I probably could have done something cutesy, but it just wasn't. And this is how I quilted it, and hopefully you can see all I did just in the ditch and then just again around the half square triangles. And if you'll notice, I used the same fabric on the back of this that I did on last week's Quilt Quickie. So that's it. That was our Quilt Quickie. Now, of course, you know, I didn't make it in the 2 minutes that it's going to take me to upload this video, but at least it'll give you a starting point from where to go. And I can't wait to show you what we're doing next week. It's even faster, and it's just a way to kind of tie it all together in the room. And you never know, I might take my leftovers of the strips that I still had, and I might do a little something for another one of the tables in the room with it. We'll see if I have time. Till next time, friends, be blessed and be a blessing.